I'm Dr. Xavier Delatorre, Superintendent of Schools in the Estrada Independent School District. I have the pleasure and the privilege to be at Alumni Day at the Young Women's Leadership Academy, a school we opened in 2016, invited young women to pursue a college preparatory curriculum that, if followed and adhered to, would guarantee admittance into colleges and universities of their choice. With me this morning, I get the honor of speaking with Lyhn Estrada, attending New York University, studying psychology, who is a graduate of the Young Women's Leadership Academy. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, thank you.
Lyhn, let's go back to when you were a little girl, and what was school like? Where did you go to school? And at what point did you and your family have a discussion about whether or not the Young Women's Leadership Academy was something that was right for you?
Well, I actually lived in Juarez for 7 years, and my mom realized that she wanted me to have a great education, so then we moved to El Paso. And while we were in El Paso, we were looking for schools that represented a career and academic and college-driven schools. So when we found the Young Women's Leadership Academy, she thought it would be a great opportunity for me to apply and come here, since college was her dream for me and she wanted me to attend a 4-year university.
So you went directly from being a student in Juarez, Mexico, to coming to the United States and attending the Young Women's Leadership Academy.
I went to school here for a few years. From 1st grade to 6th grade, I went to a regular elementary school, and when this opportunity was brought up to me, then I came to the Young Women's.
Okay. And when you were accepted, what was your reaction?
I was really happy. I was going through a really hard time in school. Grades were not really looking good for me, and when I came here, my grades went up in the skies. I got all A's and I was really happy here. I wanted to be in an environment where I felt comfortable and I could be myself, and here at Young Women's Leadership Academy I really found my place with my peers.
So is it fair to say you were sort of lost in the typical everyday school experience during your formative years in the elementary school, and you got here and there was something special about the Young Women's Leadership Academy? What is it about just the environment, the culture at the Young Women's Leadership Academy that's different?
I think what's different is that we're all academically driven, and at other schools it's more about popularity and making more friends, and here we all have goals and we all have futures that we want to get to. So I think that's what's different. We're all really academically driven and we want a good future for ourselves.
So you support each other, you push each other, you encourage each other when things get a little difficult. And you are part of the first inaugural class, the class of 2022, and were admitted to New York University, a very prestigious university on the East Coast. What has that first semester been like for you, both academically and then in terms of the culture of moving from a city like El Paso to New York City, one of the largest cities in the world?
Well, at first it was definitely different. I definitely get culture shock sometimes because there's different kinds of people all around me all the time. But I really appreciate it because I get to learn about different cultures and about different people. And I think being here at the Young Women's Leadership Academy, it prepared me academically. And my academics from here to college, it didn't really change. I was trained more to use my time wisely and learn how to organize my time and be on top of my classes without someone being there to guide me. So I think that being in a school like this and where they train you to have a good experience in college was really good for me, because I'm a first generation student, and not having that experience from my mom to tell me what college was going to be like, being prepared here really helped me succeed in college.
That's really profound, because too often we see students who on the surface appear to be doing very, very well in school when they're at their independent school district, whether it's the Estrada Independent School District or a neighboring school district. They go off to colleges and universities. Sometimes they go to school at UTEP, and even the El Paso Community College, and within months they realized that they were never adequately prepared for the academic piece of it. The culture, if they go to school here, isn't a problem, but the academic piece, sometimes it's a problem. And that can be a disservice to not just the student, but to that family who was under the impression that their child was ready to go on to colleges and universities. The other side of that coin is that sometimes we see that the student is academically prepared, as indicated in their record, but they're not prepared to handle the culture, the ethnic differences, the language differences, the idea of moving from a smaller city to a very large city. And you seem to be indicating that the Young Women's Leadership Academy has done their due diligence in preparing you.
Yes.
Why psychology?
I really like talking to people. I remember even when I was in 3rd grade, I was trying to make new friends and I didn't really know the language, so I would sit on a bench and I would charge 50 cents to give advice to people, and it just became a thing for me. Even when I was here, the reason why I connected with so many girls that are still here at the school is because I love giving advice and I love listening to people, and I feel like that's the best way to make a connection with someone. So I think that it's really interesting.
What's one thing you would say that young ladies or students in general think about the Young Women's Leadership Academy that isn't true?
I think that they say that they don't get the high school experience, but I really do think that I did get every experience, even if I didn't go to a regular school. I went to homecoming, I went to prom, I even went to football games and they weren't even here. I think it's just the way you perceive things and the way you go about things. I think that that's something that's not true, that you don't get the high school experience. I think I definitely got the high school experience
So they
here.
think they're missing out on
Right.
the experience they would otherwise have at a comprehensive high school. And the reality is that the Young Women's Leadership Academy has a full array of athletic programs. Fine arts are available. It's obviously got a very rigorous and aggressive curriculum that has prepared you academically. What advice would you give someone who is thinking about applying and enrolling in the Young Women's Leadership Academy? What should they expect?
I think that if you're ready to put in the work and you're ready to be surrounded by academically driven women, then I think that this is the place for you. If you are looking to go to a good university, a 4-year university, then this is the right place because it's going to prepare you for those challenges that you come up with in college. And I think that's a great opportunity for you to come here. The classes are going to be difficult, but they are going to prepare you for the real world.
Right, and that's really important. Again, we don't want students leaving believing that they're academically prepared only to arrive at a college and university and quickly find out that they're far behind their peers.
Yes.
If you take a moment to reflect on the time you spent here at the Young Women's Leadership Academy, what are some of the most memorable moments that you take with you?
I think the most memorable moment for me was when we took our college road trips. We had one my freshman year and my senior year, but the most memorable one for me was my senior year because we got to go outside of Texas and we went to Arizona and California, and it got me to see different universities, and it made me realize that I could apply to different places outside of El Paso, and I could see myself integrating myself into a different community. And I also got to spend a great time with my peers, and I really feel that every time we go on a field trip we connect more, and because of those connections we keep them throughout our years, even after YWLA.
Now, I assume that being a psychology major at New York University is time-consuming. When you're not studying, what do you do for fun in New York City?
I actually tried out to be on the dance team at New York University. So I'm on the dance team over there, and we actually compete every year at nationals in Daytona Beach against the other universities that are under our classification. So when I'm not studying, I am dancing.
That's wonderful.
Just like I used to here.
It's wonderful to hear that you're doing so well Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing your story with us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.